This broken tripod is getting worse and worse. Here we are, another uneventful day, taking some more boring footage. Stick around if you like, why not? I'm gonna try and cut this out here. I'm gonna try and take out the beam, and the top should continue and the bottom should continue across. I'm not sure how successful this is gonna be. It won't really be worth recording, but I might time lapse over how I'm gonna fit it. Let's see how it goes. Sometimes you just wonder, what the hell is the point? I've done so much, but I just can't get this piece of plasterboard up here with the angles. It's not exactly a half sheet, it's a little bit bigger than a half sheet. I thought it would save to use that instead of a half sheet, but it's just, I think it's too big. And look, just fucking destroying it on the ladder. You get times where you wonder, like, how stupid you think you are. You think you can build something with no experience. Holy shit. Yeah, it got done. I had to just clip the corner of it. It just wasn't sliding in because the top was wedged up there, but hopefully Claire will fix that. But it's in. The two cracked piece up there, you won't actually see because there's a piece of plasterboard coming from the wall, which is going to cover that corner. There might be a little bit of filling there, I don't know, but that's done anyway. Holy shit. Surprisingly, it's right on the line. I just need to trim it down a little bit, and one more and we're done half of the plasterboard in the room. But I am dripping in sweat. I'd say I gotta some fresh air, change the t-shirt, have a glass of water, get some oxygen. Oh my god. Up in the attic on boiling hot days. I'll catch you later.
I wiped it from my eyes and mouth and laughed like mad as Street Brown helped me up. Not long after that, SPG stepped to the edge of the pit. Hell Week secure, he shouted to the 30 guys still left, quivering in the shallows. All of us chafed.
Well, when it gets tough, just crack open the David Goggins book. You got some motivation. Man, that's some story. Anyway, I almost felt I was going to have a heart attack, but I finished that one. Corner is messy, not sure what I'm going to do there. I might try to stick in a little bit of plasterboard to help Claire with that. This side wasn't too bad. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to tidy a little bit and I'll come back to you in a minute. So I'm just out chilling with Claire. It's sunny. We're taking a minute's break. I freak out and realize I forgot to upload the video. Like, I recorded it 3 days ago, but I just forgot to upload it to YouTube. And Claire was like, I wonder if we have any comments yet. And yeah, I didn't upload the video. So first I had to export it. I hadn't even done that, so I'm uploading it now. Anyway, that's kind of, it's taking time. It's about 8 o'clock now. I'm just gonna wrap up this and call it done. I got this section here. I only have a small little triangle on the top, and then we have pretty much Oh, just ignore that mess. But we have quite a lot done here. I love the way the beam comes out of that. That's awesome. These beams are just epic. So next we're just going to work on the walls of the bathroom. I'm going to do that tomorrow and then I'm just going to finish off these few here. I'm actually going to make him a custom desk in here, put his TV on the wall there and a few shelves around it. That's actually why we have the OSB on that wall. It's kind of going to be a built-in little study, sort of built-in little gaming section there. It's going to be very cool. And I'm just going to write it off tonight. There's just nothing happening. And special meals coming tomorrow. You guys probably know by now, but it's pizza. I got a Ko-fi donation. And the lady wanted pizza. So I had a pizza oven before. But before I built my own pizza oven out of bricks that I found around the place, well, I didn't find them around. I travelled around in an old cart to pick them up. I think I got these bricks up the country from Laois. But I built my own pizza oven. But prior to that, I used to make pizza with a gas hob and grill. I don't have a grill, but I'm going to try and make it with the gas hob tomorrow. So very, very, very busy day tomorrow. Lots to be done. So I'm going to wrap up now and just hold the hand of this video and try and get it up on YouTube sometime this evening. And I'm rambling, so I'm gonna head off. I'll catch you guys later. Good morning, everybody. This is very early on Thursday morning. We were challenged by one of our community members to make a pizza with a very generous donation on Ko-fi. Thank you very much, Natalie. Pizza is one of my favorite foods because it's just so simple to make, and when made simply, it's very, very healthy. I was fascinated from a younger age because of all, what was it, Pompeii and Vesuvius, and there was these old pizza ovens that were completely encased with pizza inside of them by the lava. But there was this pizza encased by this lava, and I thought, wow, this really old technique you can cook pizza. And you know, when I started to make pizza, it took me about a year to get various different types of dough right. And I used to make it actually when I first started with a gas hob in a pan, and then I'd finish it off with a grill, and that is amazing. I might try and make one of them today like that. Then I made my own pizza oven, started to experiment with that, and they were amazing. However, when I went to the Middle East, I didn't have a pizza oven, so I had a gas barbecue and a pizza stone. And I think I'm going to try and make a second one on that tonight. So we don't really have a grill, so I don't think the frying pan method will work. It's going to be an experiment. So I want to show you guys how easy it is to make pizza. Very simple ingredients. If you're prepped, it's kind of easy to do now. So, however, I will say I don't have a food mixer, so I got to do this by hand. Let me just show you what I'm going to be using with. I'm going to be working with. The first thing is you need 00 flour. A lot of people say bread flour, strong flour. That is absolutely incorrect. You need Italian 00 flour. You need this for the high protein amounts. This is pretty good. This, and there's another one, Caputo. Do I have a jar? Caputo red is for pizza. Caputo blue is for any kind of bread or croissant or anything. But this one, Straglione, is 13 grams of protein, and the Caputo, which I normally use, is 12 grams of protein. So this is slightly better for pizza. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use, normally with my kids, I do a whole one. We'd have like 1 or 2 small pizzas each. I'm going to use half of that. It's just myself and Claire. The next thing you need is San Marzano tomatoes. Do not buy chopped tomatoes. Chopped tomatoes are substandard tomatoes. They're like the offcuts of tomatoes with rotten bits cut off. Always get a whole tomato in a can. You want to see the whole thing so it looks natural. Always get a plum tomato if you can, but the very, very best is a San Marzano tomato. They're just what everybody uses in pizza. They are the nicest. And what I do is I just literally crush this. I don't add any ingredients, I just crush it with my hand and I pop that on top of the pizza. So It's not that much more expensive. There's a funny clip actually when we went looking for this, so I'll include it now. Tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. Ah, tomatoes. Huh? Yeah, get the ingredients. It saves you time later when it comes to preparing. In terms of cheese or yeast, yeah, I use a yeast packet to go with the pizza. And then I have a little bit more of the McCroom Buffalo mozzarella. And if you're watching, I will quite happily have you sponsor me. Please send me a crate of these every month. Thank you. And this is a weird one. My parents brought me home from Spain. I think it's a type of salami. I am going to try a little bit of this, maybe, on one or two of them. So, that's how we're gonna go about it. So, let's go about it. Now, I had a KitchenAid mixer, or Clarited really, a long time ago, and it broke. And we decided we'd try a very cheap mixer, see how that works. And that's actually been working out great. I think it was like 100 quid on Amazon. You don't need fancy mixers. But they are convenient, and we don't have a fancy mixer. So I am going to attempt to do this by hand. It might be a disaster. Actually, let me show you what you want to do first with yeast. I am going to use one of these. Right, so I have one sachet of yeast mixed in here. It's kind of lukewarm water, really. One thing I would add to this is a little bit of honey. And a tiny little bit of flour. Now, that's gonna give it something nice to start to chow down on. Roughly about half. Yep. Will I do a half or will I do a few more? You're going to be tired later, or hungry later. I'll do 3/4. See how that works out. Oh, this flour is it's so dusty. 00 means it's very fine flour. Makes the best bread as well. Baguettes, sourdough, whatever you fancy. I'm going to add in a little bit of salt here. There's a little bit of Himalayan sea salt that I use for my neti pot. This is what I clean my sinuses out with. It's handy for freediving. They're looking for a nice bit of sea salt, or a nice bit of salt really. You need to mix this in with the flour pretty good because it will kill the yeast. And nobody wants dead yeast in a pizza, otherwise it's just gonna be a pita. So let's mix that in now. I actually have like a bread knife as well, but now you could leave this. This is starting to activate. I can see bubbles popping up on top of it. It's getting frothy, smelling like beer. I'd say we're good to go. It's been a while since I made bread by hand, guys. You're so freaking lucky. Damn it. We have someone on an escape vector there. Gosh. Actually, you know what? I use a pint of this when I make a whole bag. Maybe I should have the whole bag. It's an excuse to make more pizza, really, isn't it? I'm not even certain I'm going to have space. Alright, let's try to... Come to think of it, guys, I would definitely suggest a mixing bowl. This is not at all how you want to be mixing pizza. Hydration level of pizza is pretty important, actually. I always just think about it that if we can get the dough ball consistency to kind of look like mozzarella, I think we're doing good. So, starting to use the palm of my hand. And you can see when I started with my fingers, it's sticky, but now I can work it with the palm of my hand and there's nothing sticking to it. So it's kind of getting where we want it. And I'll work it around the board to try and collect any additional things. A little bit of moisture there. This is getting quite nice. It's not as much of the, like I wanted a little bit more liquid. And how I achieved that, just a little bit of olive oil. This also stops it sticking to the container you put it into rise. This is gonna spend the whole day rising. Now we're tearing and kneading. Pushing it apart and then together. This is absolutely perfect. Now, maybe we could do with just a little bit more oil, but I'm kind of happy with that. This is a great chopping board. It's from IKEA. It has a lip at the back, so as you're pushing it out, the board ain't moving. Very handy. Right. Go with this fella. Just have to find my big stainless steel bowl. I'm just going to put some olive oil around the side. This is just going to allow the dough to move. I'm going to just stir it a bit. Put it in upside down. I'm going to spin the dough around. Oil is now on top, and now I'm going to put it in the correct way. And I'm just going to cover every part of the dough with oil and also make sure the sides of this bowl are covered. That is pretty good. Can you see that? Ready to rock and roll. I need to keep this somewhere kind of warm so it can double. I'm gonna come back to it in about 3-4 hours. It's gonna be up. I'm just gonna push it down. That's the first rise. I'm gonna give it a second rise. Gonna come back maybe 2 hours later, I'll show you, and then I'm gonna make it into pizza sized portions and give it one final cover. And then we get cooking later on tonight. Oh, this basil, olive oil, smells amazing. Delivio, check it out. Check it out. I'm gonna clean up. Myself and Claire are gonna work. I'll probably throw this in the caravan. I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, it is Thursday morning and I am starting the hall and kitchen area. Just want to get it done now. It's difficult because I kind of have to wait for everybody to get out of the way before I can seal everything off. So I'm going to seal this corridor off. I've already sealed our bedroom at the top with the hope that that'll be okay. I have this little step to do here. and then I'll start here where the footprints are and work my way down. This door I must keep closed, that's the one to the snug. And I will keep this door open, the front door, and I'm going to set up my fan so that'll hopefully direct the dust out. We've got all windows and doors open down there and the entire kitchen plasticed up. So hopefully should be able to get quite a bit done. So I'm going to put the fan on. I kept the Hoover on the last time while I was doing the hall and the bathroom. Don't know that it made much difference, but it drove me a bit insane with the noise. So I think I'll get the fan going and that might help. Be less noisy. So I'll just show you just very quickly the step. We had already ground it before because we wanted to see what it would look like with the glass in it. It's off here now and I'll just show you what I mean. When we seal it, it will come out a bit like this. We put lots of wine bottles into it. Once you white it up, you can really see the different coloured glass. It was just an experiment, but it was never polished. So once we polish it, it'll be really interesting to see how this glass comes up. So I've just ground off what I call the dirty concrete or the dirty screed. It's ready for polishing now. So I'm going to keep going down the floor and I'll bring you back on when I've done a little bit more and show you where I'm at.
Afternoon everybody. Not a huge pile to update. I'm doing some fiddly stuff, which it's a fiddly stuff that really takes me down, honestly. So I think I showed you that. I was showing Claire earlier. I was pointing, it looks like someone fired a machine gun of plasterboard screws up there and just peppered it. But I got that done. And I think there's a little curve in the wall. I think that looks wonderful with that beam coming out of it. And then we have 2 more beams there. I have to clear the plywood out of here and start filling up the wall, which I did. And I'm coming down to this wall. I've come across 2, well, fiddly bits, I suppose. The first one is putting insulation here. One of the commenters, can't remember the name, but thank you very much, suggested to make sure that we had the insulation in the wall for acoustic insulation, and that was a good point that I kind of planned to do, but I didn't highlight it. These walls are the ones that are going into the bedroom, and I'm going to have a towel rail pointed here, so the heat is going to come out and it's going to hit the old stone wall. So this is going to be a nice thermal store also, but I want the heat to go the opposite way into the bedroom, so I'm not putting insulation on these walls. And yeah, maybe you could have sound insulation, but really this is for my kids, so hopefully they'll be the only ones here, and at some point in the future, if, I don't know, they have a partner or something here. Sure, you're all used to that with your partner. But anyway, back to this. Sound insulation, probably not important here, but this is just at the top of the stairs, so it's going down into the snug, so we're definitely going to put sound insulation here. So I am going to put more insulation up there. I have the second piece ready to go up. I just have to cut the top corner, and with this one I am going to, yeah, I have that all wired now. I'm going to leave it like this. Actually, the downstairs I fitted the rail, but Claire found it difficult to plaster around it, so I'm going to leave the rail off, just put the cables there. We can push them back in later. I'm going to finish off here, then I'm going to move to the top and I'm going to do the vapor barrier. Forgot the other fiddly bit I have to do is the edge of this, then plasterboard around that. So I'm going to have a little bit of lunch now with Claire. I think it's about 3 o'clock, and we are going to drive on and have pizza later. Okay folks, how's it going? I'm downstairs now. Claire has just gone out to check on the bees, and the dust has settled a little bit. If you look behind me, you can see everything's kind of covered up because Claire is starting to grind our hallway. It looks amazing, uncluttered and empty. Can't wait to have this finished, but as she's doing that, I just have my pizza dough here. So I thought, why not check it out? Be careful now not to make a whole load of dust everywhere. I've properly just washed my hands because I don't want a load of concrete in my pizza. Paella dish comes in handy again. That is rising perfectly. It's about doubled in size. If I wanted it to rise bigger, I would have put it over here in the sunny patch, but I actually don't want it to rise that quick, so I left it here. This is actually quite cool. There's a door open there and there's a door open behind me, so there's a good flow of cold air. The countertop, the concrete, I'd say it's about 16 degrees. Like, it's definitely a bit cooler than the air, but it's just not rising too much. So as this is the first rise, I want to just take the air out of it. So I'm just going to push it all down. You can hear the bubbles squeezing out, and I know on the bottom there's a lot of olive oil, so I'm going to fold it over once, fold it over twice, and just position it upside down now. And actually, I could show you here. You could see this is very much like the mozzarella that I'm looking for. A nice kind of elastic stretch, and that's what makes pizza so awesome. So make sure you get the right dough. Mix it exactly how I did, which was haphazard and casual. Put it in an oiled container. Very little mess actually when you use oil. Oil is brilliant for bread. And let me put this lid back on. This forms a perfect seal, so using lids like that is very good. Again, paella dishes are the bomb. Paella dishes are the bomb. Make sure everybody has one. It's about, I want to say it's about 1:30 now. Kira's just gonna work. I don't know what time we're gonna finish up tonight, but I'll probably come back maybe about 4:30, and I will divide this up into probably about 8 pizza dough balls. And now you can freeze them at this point if you want. I'll probably keep 3, maybe 4 to make today. I'll definitely freeze half, I reckon. Yeah, and then I'll place them out and we'll give them another kind of 2 hours to just rise up and get some air, and then comes the tough part of rolling them out so that you don't kill the air that's in it. Anyway, I'll show you all that later. Hey guys, so it's about, I want to say 4:30. Claire is hoovering behind me. She's still grinding, literally, she's grinding the floor. She's grinding the floor. Yeah, so I'm trying to do a little bit of updates to my dough here. This is where I decide how many I want to make, and I segregate them to rise on their own. I'll show you that in a second. But this is about all we got left. If you want to get your own postcard sent to you with an Irish stamp and a message from us, links down below to the Ko-fi store. Pick yours up there. We might put a vote for our channel members and Patreon to see what's the next postcard we should make. But yes, so if you want to be part of that, join our channel or become a patron and you'll be part of the next batch of these bad boys. Anyway, let me put these to the side. I have these really cool big metal trays that I use for everything from fish to bread, but they're in the barn somewhere. As you know, our kitchen isn't set up yet. So I'm just gonna peel off a few and pop them onto some of our plates. Some really cool farmhouse property plates. And then I'm gonna put the rest back, let it proof a little bit more. So it's just doubled again. Actually, I have a bread knife as well, but I don't know where that is. So I'm gonna give it one final push down. I'm gonna fold it once, gonna fold it twice, toss it over. It looks just like mozzarella, so we're good to go. I am going to, how am I going to do this? I am going to put 2 on each plate, and I'm going to cover that then. So you can weigh this out, but if you have it like this, I usually just like maybe twist off something like that size. That'll make a good size one. I'll make 2 big ones, and I'll make 2 small ones. Small ones, I have a feeling they're going to go in the frying pan. It's probably a bit big. The big ones are going to go on the pizza stone. So what you see here is we're stretching it over the top, and what I do is I just keep squeezing to pinch it like that. And what that does, the same way you make mozzarella actually, it gives you a really nice ball. That'll do another 4 pizzas at some point. Maybe the kids will want it when they come home. Okay, I'm gonna do the 2 small ones first. I'm gonna put them here. Pop this back up. So a lot of people will get their dough ball. It doesn't look great at the minute. They'll put it in the ground, they'll roll it into a ball. That's all fine. What I like to do is, it doesn't matter where you start, anywhere at all, but just start in one point and just keep folding it over. Folding it over until it goes a little bit flat, and then squeeze the bottom together like this. I just keep twisting it around like so. You will get a little bit of kind of lumpiness at the bottom, but when you push that down, it gets you a perfect dough ball on top. And as it expands, it's going to expand on the bottom there, so it'll seal it all in for you. I'm gonna do another one. Start to twist it, make sure it's all like top. And that's the second one. These are gonna double in size at least, so put them far apart, and I think I'll put a lid over them. I don't know, is that going to work, but I might have to put a tea towel over them as well. I've never done it with plates before, but when you're cooking in a building site, you gotta do what you gotta do. Another great dough ball. Another great dough ball. The thing about pizza is it's a poor man's food. So don't be stressed if you don't make it perfect. I'm not bad at making pizza because I've been studying it. I did so much research on how to make a good pizza. I have so many books that probably about 10 years. I've been making it at least once a month for 10 years. By scratch, doing things differently. So today's a good challenge as well. But you're going to see when we cook it, it's literally just the dough, a tiny bit of tomato, a tiny bit of cheese. The simplest, the better. It's very hard to go wrong. The only things I think you need to do, which are really important, is the right flour and the right heat. So it's hard to get the heat with a conventional oven, but I'll show you how to. Okay. That does not feel great. There's already an air gap because of the size. I think I'm gonna get a towel to put over the whole thing. Okay, just to show you what I came up with. This is the one with the smallest top I'm kind of worried about. This has got a heavy, larger plate which seems to have a nice seal. So it's the bottom one I'm more worried about. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cover like so. I'm going to put this on top. That's going to weigh it down a bit. So And then this is going to hopefully cover both of them. There. Let's see how that goes. There's absolutely no shame in babying your dough. Let's see how it works.
Here's my third time around.
2 secs.
So I started, realizing, my God, man.
I just gotta turn David Goggins off. So I got one of my panels up. I want to get this up first, and then this one slots underneath it, and then my wall slots against this. So all the panels kind of interlock. But I've just run out of screws. Yeah. I have to go and see if I can find more. It is 5 minutes past 6 in the countryside. There's nothing open, so maybe I'm done for the night. Maybe I'm done for the night, and it's gonna take some cleaning up. There's just 2 more sheets I wanted to put up, but Alright, I'll have a quick look for the screws. If I find it, we'll get back to the sheets. If I can't find it, then I suppose I'll give a bit of tidying up. I'll catch you later for some pizza. Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's that lovely time of the evening, pizza time. It's about 7:30. We just did a little bit of tidying up. Claire's moaning because she's in the middle of her tidying up, aren't you?
Yes.
How's it going?
Very good actually. Very, very good.
Can you do the honors of just showing us how my pizza dough is looking? I have 2 on top and I have 2 underneath. That, my friends, is looking pretty goddamn good. Ooh, they look slightly bigger, don't they? Very nice. Alright, put the lids back on. So the dough's are ready. We're about ready to cook. So what I'm going to do now is, I'll show you my setup. We don't really use plates. We have a lot of chopping boards to prepare the pizza, and we're going to cook the pizza outside, and then we're going to throw the pizza on to these. What we have here, we don't have a grill, so my idea to use the pans, or I use a kind of a skillet, and I put that over a gas ring, and it kind of burns the bottom of the pizza, but the top doesn't get any heat. So then you whack that in under a grill, and that kind of really cooks the top very well. So when you're doing a skillet pizza, you do it in 2 layers. First layer on the gas hob, second layer on the grill. I don't have that. What I'm going to use is my I'm going to use my barbecue. Now, I've not actually done pizza in this before. The idea is you have, my last one was better actually. My last barbecue, I had 4, what are they called? 4 burners. And you leave the middle 2 burners off, and you put the pizza stone on top of the middle 2 burners, and you keep the 2 outside burners going, so there's a constant flow. Now I don't have that. This little one, I can turn off the inside burner. I'll put the pizza stone over that, but this one is very, very, very hot. You can see actually, it goes red, this one goes blue, this one goes blue. So this is very hot. So I think what I might do is try and turn it down as low as possible. I'm just going to keep these up now, because the first thing we want to do, we're going to leave this on for about 10 minutes. We want the temperature to get up ideally between 200 and 250. On a pizza oven it should be up around the 400 plus, but that will give you a 90-second pizza. We're probably going to keep it around 200 to 250 and probably going to do a 8-minute pizza. So what we have here is the pizza stone. The thing you have to make sure you don't do is don't clean this with water. If water gets into this pizza stone, it'll actually create steam on the inside and you'll crack. Now I have one under here that was cracked. This actually, I just don't know about the make. This was a cheap one from Amazon, so I don't know, could it take the heat I put it on. This is a Weber stone and it's pretty good. This is going to take a few minutes to heat up. Meanwhile, I am going to check out some of our mozzarella. I'll show you that in a minute. I'm going to cut some of this. I am going to use my oily pan to make the San Marzano, and we're going to roll out the dough. And this is a basil that I rescued, which is looking very dusty. If I keep this out in the wind, we might be able to rescue it. I don't know. We'll see. We have a mist rolling in, so there's tiny splatterings of moisture coming down, so really we're against it to try and make these pizzas. So let's see how quickly this will heat up. While I'm out here, I will show you what I do with this San Marzano. San Marzano, again, let me show you. This is the best, apparently. It's really simple what you do. There's your San Marzano, lovely plum tomato, not massive. There's already a little bit of olive oil in here. And all we do is we just, with clean hands, is just crush them like this. The problem I find is if you puree the tomatoes, it goes even more watery. And there's no harm to have. Nice few lumps. Boom. There's your tomato sauce. And your red hand, like the Peaky Blinders. Right, I'll come back out to this mozzarella in a minute. Let's have a look at the dough. Next, we want to take a mozzarella cheese. We want to empty the brine. And we want to basically dry it. Now there's a thin skin on the mozzarella, so you just want to chop it in half and you want to squeeze it in here. Make sure that all of the moisture is out. Now this is a cheap one. This is a Super Value brand. I just wanted to show you the difference. Number one, it's a lot wetter, a lot mushier. Number two, it's really white. The inside, a good mozzarella, although white on the outside. Should be creamy on the inside. Huge difference in taste. Massive. Okay. A little mozzarella. Go a little bit. Let's try some of this Dad brought home from Spain. Not sure what that is. Musty flavor. Quite hard. So it'll have to be quite a thin shaving to go on top of the pizza. You don't want very much of it anyway. Very interesting flavor. Not spicy. Almost. You know, I'm not even sure I get any flavor off it. Normally you get a bit of pepper, but anyway, fancy. So I don't know, is it cold out, but I needed to turn this up a little bit. It's not really getting above the 180. So see how that little improvement makes. Let's check out the dough. Let's check out the dough, but I want to Make sure cats don't go for my cheese and meat, so I'm going to bring that in. Okay. So, we want the pizza to be able to slide on and off. I wouldn't use fancy flour, I just use plain flour for this. This is coarser than 0000, probably doesn't work. This will act like ball bearings to slide it in and out. It's a tradition. Whenever I make pizza, the first pizza is always margherita. Just a plain, what do you say, cheese, tomato and cheese sort of an affair. So, therefore, let's go for one of the big boys. I don't throw the pizza around. Actually, I don't even know, do we have a rolling pin? I would use a rolling pin normally, but I don't seem to be able to find one now. Damn it. Made a hole. This is going to be quite difficult. If you make a hole like that, it's fine. It's folded back on itself. Cover that stuff right up, and it never happened. It's pretty important it doesn't have holes because it will not slide on and off. So I'm feeling like I'm ready to throw this on. Claire wants to go and see if she can find me a rolling pin. I might do the other ones in a rolling pin. But yeah, I'm okay with that. Should have been a lot bigger, but it's not the end of the world. Right, we're reading 250 centigrade, which is almost 500 Fahrenheit. I'd say we're going to go in with that. Straight on. And get that ready for another. I'm just going to take San Marzano. This is probably reducing the heat an awful lot. We don't have to put much on. And take a nice piece of this mozzarella, this macaroon buffalo mozzarella. Just a bit of olive oil and let's leave that for a sec. Nice. Okay. Well, that's cooking away outside. I found a big water bottle that has no water in it. And stainless steel, so we're just gonna try and work it away. Apparently, you get less bubbles when you do it this way because you're just bursting the bubbles. However, I prefer a thin pizza, so I'm happier with less bubbles and a thinner crust. That's not bad. Now, scoop up this, it's a flour. You can see how elastic this is. That is the protein count. So I'm going to just put on the San Marzano. No salt, no pepper, no anything at all. Just tomatoes, good quality cheese, and a grate dough. Gonna go for slightly less cheese on this one now. We're gonna try some of this ham. I don't know what I call it. The whole thing is in Spanish. It's interesting. You gotta check that it slides before you get to the pizza stone, otherwise it'll stick, all the toppings go everywhere. Okay, number 2 is ready. Let's investigate number 1. Not bad. The base is actually cooking really good. I'm surprised, but the top isn't. So I'm going to give them more on the hot side. And I think I'm going to move. Because I'm quite happy with the temperature on the bottom. I want some, can you see that? I'm happy with the temperature on the bottom. I just want this to give me some heat on the top. Let's see how that goes. Actually guys, any of you speak Spanish? Do you know what that is? Is it a salami or? It's definitely not a pepperoni. That's what we're eating. It's quite nice. Oh, yes, we're getting places now. Nice.
You're done.
Okay, folks. How am I going to do this? Okay, folks. It's... I'm dialing in this. I haven't used it before to make pizza, so I am going to keep this up high. The really hot burner, I'm going to keep it on high so it'll start to brown the top. And I'm going to keep these high, and I'm going to push the pizza stone over to the far side. So maybe the second pizza will be a little bit better, but this one is not too bad. It's just not as brown as I want on top, but definitely good enough to eat. Here we go. What do you think?
Oh, that's amazing.
All right, let's get it inside. Let me just chuck this bad boy down. We eat this and we get ready for the next one then. Come on. Mm-hmm. Guys, a bit tight for space. Now we are going to try this, but we just need to let it sit for 2 minutes or it'll burn our mouth off. In the meantime, I am going to prepare another. Are you fit, Claire? Would you like to?
No, I'll let you do it, honey.
Oh,
My hands are all dusty.
Alright, your hands are all dusty. Tell them a story about our pizza, Claire. Or our pizza journey.
Pizza. Well, I suppose you really got the love of pizza once you started producing them out of your own oven, wasn't it? You made your pizza oven.
I got the love of pizza before that.
And I think we will definitely make one here. The love of pizza before that. Go on, where were you going to suggest?
No, I love pizza since I was a kid. We went to this place called, I think, Pinocchio's in Kinsale in West Cork. They made, that was the first time I tried real pizza oven pizza, and it was completely different to anything I've ever tasted, you know?
Yeah. We used to get deep pan pizzas at home. Me and my mom and my dad. My mom used to get them in Super Value. That was the only pizzas I knew. Oh, the odd time she actually did have a go at making her own pizza. That wasn't bad actually. She was pretty good at doing dough.
Really? And we're growing what type of tomatoes, Claire?
Well, we are growing San Marzano. Along with various other ones which are all thriving. Badly need a bit of rain. I'm glad there's a bit of rain coming.
Do you like this meat stuff?
What is it, Rob?
I don't know. Some sort of...
Yeah, it's nice. It's different.
Yeah. Right. We ready to try some of this?
Pizza? Do you want to tell everybody what kind of pizza you like?
Okay, so I just threw both on. You can see this here is the Macroom mozzarella. It's just perfectly broken down. And this stuff, you can see it's the Super Value, the cheap mozzarella. It hasn't broken down as much. So this is quite chemically, I think.
There's something in it.
A bit more plasticky, whereas this is just natural. So, first pizza out of any pizza night, always a margherita. For Queen Margaret of Italy on her birthday. Yeah, it was actually. A little bit of olive oil. And why not have the good basil olive oil? Now this shows the sort of pizzas we usually make.
Oh my god.
Can you hear that crunch? Get it in there, Claire. Get it in.
Crunch.
Oh my god, that's gonna be so good. You can hear it. Listen to the crunch. Get the camera right in there, Claire. Right, here we go. Oh yes. Now, I'm gonna go for So I am tempted to have this later pizzas. I will have cheesy ones, but you need to try. This is a mix. You really want to check the crust to see, is it squeezable? Does it compress? Is there air pockets? It looks not bad. There you go. You want to see that.
It's very good on the bottom.
Yeah, maybe a bit too good.
Oh, is this my one?
Yeah. Oh my Jesus. That's so good.
Have you made pizza here before?
No. Not homemade, right?
Yeah. The first homemade pizza. Very, very good.
That's tasty. Oh my God.
That meat is nice actually because again it gives it a bit of salt.
There's no meat on it.
Oh. What's the saltiness though? One in the mozzarella.
Cheese.
It's salty.
They're in brine. That's another thing. Mozzarella's in brine, so there's a bit of salt from that. You don't need to add. I asked Claire. Sometimes we do a dessert pizza, which is you make the base, you cook it in the pizza oven, you put Nutella on top, marshmallows on top of that, you bang it back in the oven and you bring it up to the dome for about 20 seconds and it's absolutely unbelievable. The marshmallows kind of melt. But we don't have any of that, unfortunately.
Our son ate all the Nutella. Doesn't last long.
Cheers, honey.
Cheers. It's absolutely gorgeous.
And doesn't it feel really healthy? With pizza, less is more. You don't want a lot of toppings. You want the minimum amount of toppings to make sure they're good. And you will naturally get full. There's no chemicals in this. Normally junk food or pizza you buy in the supermarket full of chemicals to make you keep eating and feel not satiated.
Salt really more than anything. Just full of salt. Especially the ones that you get in the takeaways like.
But after one or two of these, you're definitely gonna feel full. Try it. Let's try the meaty one and you let them go.
Okay.
See the temperature? It's just not getting over the 500 Fahrenheit. Oh, look at that for a base.
We saw.
Did you? Okay. So maybe this is a bit counterintuitive, people. Because I told you when you roll it with the rolling pin, you wouldn't get the bubbles. This is the one I did by hand. This is the rolling pin. However, if you remember, I did turn up the heat for this. So we're definitely getting more heat on top. That crust, even though it's flatter, you can see that's quite flat. It is going to be full of air bubbles like that. We'll just let that cool down a bit. We try some. But a little bit of olive oil. Studies suggest olive oil is good for dementia. Pump it in your pizza. You could put your basil on when you cook it, but
it doesn't look crunchy.
yeah. Shame you don't have rockets, Laura.
We do.
Look at it. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
So I went and picked some rocket. This is the hard and old rocket that Rob described in the last video, which is absolutely super on these kind of things.
It's not bad, like.
I don't know.
All right,
it's
quiet
not old
now.
or hard.
Quiet, listen for the crunch.
We're listening.
Oh, baby. It is very hard, Claire. Rocket is an amazing finisher for pizza. Put on more if you want. I'm going to try this fella. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a bit hot, Rob.
Because the fat and the meat has just broken down. The meat's gone really crispy. That's lovely. But try a little bit of your rocket pizza. Out of 10?
Maybe 9.
I'm not a huge fan of that meat. I'd like something with a bit more kick.
I think that's
Not
it.
quite a chorizo,
No.
but a pepperami. Maybe the Parma ham. I gotta check there. Okay. We're just gonna do one more. We're gonna eat the other one that's out there. I'm gonna grab a slice and let's go outside and sign off. Oh my god. Look at that! Huh? Get in! My dad doesn't like cheese, so when we used to do pizza for him, we just substituted caramelized onions for cheese, if you're one of those sorts.
Nice. Anyway, I can't say that it's rained much, but now it's just starting to rain. So I think we need to let these people go because they're getting wet.
Okay. Natalie, kick-ass suggestion. Thank you so much for your support. It means an awful lot to us. Thanks to all the rest of you for your suggestions. We will actually get through them all. Thank you so much to all the people that bought last night when I showed me posting the postcard. I think maybe that resonated with a few people, so thanks for the support, and looking forward to trying to figure out what the next card's going to be. Thanks to everybody for commenting and watching. We're thrilled that you're here with us. It's been a very difficult week. We're both doing very boring jobs, not exciting to record and just an awful lot of work, but hopefully a little bit of pizza maybe cheers you up a little bit.
Yep, thank you very much for everything, and we'll see you soon. Slán go fóill.
See ya!